Welcome to fascinating Norway, a country that blends a rich history, incredible culture, and breathtaking landscapes. Located in northern Europe, bordered by Sweden, Finland, and Russia, Norway is known for its stunning fjords, northern lights, and progressive social policies. Additionally, its vibrant capital Oslo offers world-class cultural attractions like the Opera House, Vigeland Sculpture Park, and museums. Its beautiful snow-capped mountains, glaciers, and coastal areas play a crucial role in Norwegian history and identity, bringing immense natural beauty and fascination. With a population of approximately 5.4 million people spread across a large area of 385,000 square kilometers, Norway is a captivating destination that offers a variety of unique outdoor experiences to explore. Norway's history traces back to prehistoric times when Norse and Germanic tribes settled in the region. During the Viking Age, 800–1050 AD, Norway emerged as a major seafaring culture, exploring new lands and raiding across Europe. Conflict among Norse chieftains was common, with Norway serving as the base for Viking conquests, spreading settlements and kingdoms across the North Atlantic. In the 11th to 12th centuries, Norway unified under a single monarch and adopted Christianity, blending Viking traditions with Christian beliefs. The 14th century brought challenges with the Black Death pandemic and Norway's subordination to Denmark under the Kalmar Union. However, Norway regained independence in 1814, forming a union with Sweden until 1905. The 20th century saw Norway face Nazi occupation during World War II, but it rebounded with prosperity from its oil and gas resources in the North Sea. Today, Norway is a modern, wealthy, and socially progressive nation, leading in global human development rankings. One of Norway's inspirations is Edvard Munch, 1863–1944, one of the most important and renowned painters of the Expressionist movement. His iconic painting, The Scream, from 1893, is a masterpiece that revolutionized art with its unique and emotive style transcending the norms of his time to influence generations of artists. Munch's works left a lasting impact on art history and enriched Norwegian and global culture with their unparalleled expressions of human anxiety and alienation. Do you know why Norway has such dramatic fjord landscapes? This distinctive topography was carved out by glaciers over millions of years. The difficulties posed by rugged terrain and excess glacial ice compelled the ancient Norse people to devise ingenious ways to inhabit these lands along the coasts and valleys. Thus, over the centuries, they developed clever maritime technologies like long wooden ships and fishing whaling skills to thrive against the formidable forces of nature. When visiting Norway, it is impossible not to marvel at the breathtaking landscapes dotted with fjords and mountains. Another aspect enhancing Norway's scenery is the phenomenon of the Northern Lights, or Aurora Borealis. These otherworldly colored light displays in the night sky turn the landscapes into a multicolored dancing spectacle. Originating from charged particles from the sun colliding with the Earth's atmosphere, the Northern Lights have enthralled dwellers in the Arctic region for millennia. Late autumn through early spring is when conditions are ideal for witnessing this marvel of nature at its finest in places like Tromsø and Svalbard. The shimmering curtains of greens, pinks, and purples stretch as far as the eye can see in an ethereal, almost supernatural phenomenon. And if you want to explore an incredible place in Norway, you can't miss the opportunity to visit the Lofoten Islands. This archipelago offers a unique experience of living in harmony with nature's raw beauty. Situated within the Arctic Circle, the Lofoten Islands provide breathtaking panoramic views of majestic peaks rising from the Norwegian Sea and an atmosphere of tranquility from being one of the world's most northerly inhabited areas. With its quaint fishing villages, many built around small harbors and inlets, residents have direct access to the surrounding waters and hiking trails. This is the ideal location for those seeking an authentic life, embracing the primal Norwegian landscapes. Additionally, residents and visitors have access to world-class outdoor activities like kayaking, fishing, and hiking, ensuring adventure and an active lifestyle amidst stunning surroundings. Now, speaking of surroundings, as you stroll through Norway's capital, Oslo, you can't help but notice the beauty that blends old and new. The streets showcase picturesque spots reflecting Oslo's rich Viking heritage, like medieval ruins at Gamlebyen, as well as its modern rebirth with the striking Oslo Opera House on the fjord. One of the city's highlights is its harbor front, a lively area with parks, museums, and outdoor cafes along the waters of the Oslofjord. Taking a boat tour is an unforgettable way to admire Oslo's waterfront districts with their colorful wooden houses on the slopes. Another highlight is Vigeland Sculpture Park, a green oasis filled with over 200 haunting human form sculptures by Gustav Vigeland, celebrating the cycle of human life. This vast park offers a peaceful retreat with its fountains, bridges, and wooded areas, perfect for a leisurely stroll surrounded by world-famous art. Additionally, Oslo is establishing itself as a culinary capital, known for fusing traditional Nordic cuisine with innovative new Scandinavian food driven by foraging and seasonal local ingredients. Visitors can savor architectural gems like the Barcodiaria skyline alongside tastes of the wonderful land and sea. But if you're looking for some more adult fun, you should head to the capital city of Oslo, which offers a lively nightlife scene. Areas like Grünerløkka and Oslofjord are buzzing with trendy bars, nightclubs, and music venues catering to a variety of tastes. For those seeking outdoor adventures, Norway's stunning landscapes provide ample opportunities. Taking a cruise through the famous fjords like Geirangerfjord or Nerøyfjord allows visitors to soak in the breathtaking natural scenery. The colder months are ideal for winter sports enthusiasts with world-class skiing, snowboarding, and other snow activities available across Norway's snowy mountains. During the warmer seasons, hiking, rock climbing, kayaking, and fishing are excellent ways to experience Norway's great outdoors. The country also hosts several popular music festivals in the summer, such as the Øya Festival in Oslo, Molde Jazz Festival, and Trainer Festival, celebrating diverse genres. One of the most magical experiences is witnessing the Northern Lights, Aurora Borealis, in northern Norway, best viewed from September through March. No matter the time of year, Norway offers a range of fun activities that allow visitors to immerse themselves in the nation's rich cultural heritage and striking natural landscapes. And speaking of wonders, we have mouth-watering cuisines. One of the most iconic Norwegian dishes is fårikål, which consists of lamb and cabbage stewed together. This hearty stew is a national classic, especially popular in the fall when lamb is in season. Another highlight is lapskaus, a thick stew made with salted meat, potatoes, and various root vegetables like carrots, onions, and turnips. This humble peasant dish has been sustaining Norwegians for generations. For seafood lovers, Norway offers excellent fish dishes like fiskasuppe. It's a fish soup made with fresh catch like cod, salmon, or halibut simmered in a creamy broth. Fiskekladder are salt cod fritters, often served as an appetizer or snack. No Norwegian meal is complete without potater, potatoes, which are prepared in many ways: boiled, mashed, fried, baked, and even potato dumplings called raspeball. When it comes to desserts, Norwegians enjoy sweets like krumkake, cone-shaped wafer cookies, and multekrem, cloudberry cream, made from the tart cloudberries that grow in the wild. By savoring this delicious and authentic cuisine, tourists have the opportunity to connect with the essence of local culture, enjoying a sensory experience that evokes the traditions and identity of this country. By savoring this delectable and authentic cuisine, tourists can immerse themselves in the core of local culture, relishing a sensory journey that captures the heritage and character of the nation. If you're interested in getting to know Norway or even living there, it's important to know about issues like the minimum wage, rent, and food expenses. Starting with the minimum wage, although Norway does not have a nationally legislated minimum wage rate. Instead, minimum pay rates are set through collective bargaining agreements negotiated between trade unions and employers' organizations. There is no single national minimum wage that applies to all workers across industries and sectors. These collectively bargained minimum wages vary across different industries, occupations, and skill levels. Common minimum rates that have been agreed on include around $20 per hour for unskilled workers and $25 or more per hour for skilled workers like mechanics. For some sectors like construction, manufacturing, and trucking, agreed minimum wages can be $30 or more per hour. The lack of a statutory national minimum wage allows pay scales to be set more flexibly based on the competitiveness needs of each industry. Around 50% of Norwegian workers have their pay and conditions determined by these centralized bargaining agreements between unions and employer groups. Now let's talk about expenses. Norway has one of the highest costs of living in the world. For a single person living in Oslo, monthly living costs excluding rent are around $1,300. Rent itself is quite expensive. A one-bedroom apartment in Oslo's city center averages around $1,700 per month, while outside the center it's still around $1,300 on average. Cost of living estimates from the crowdsourced expat data on Expatistan provide more context. A basic lunch at an inexpensive restaurant costs $20 to $25. Groceries for a small family average around $700 per month. Additionally, monthly utilities like electricity, heating, and water for an 85 square meter apartment are around $220. An estimate of the minimum monthly budget of around $5,500 for a family of 4 to cover housing, utilities, groceries, transport, and other expenses. Several factors contribute to Norway's high cost of living. The country has a strong economy and high wages, which increases operational costs that businesses pass on to consumers. There are also added costs for imported goods. Moreover, Norway imposes high taxes to fund its generous social support system and public services. The cost of gasoline, for example, is around $6.50 per gallon. Consumer prices overall in Norway are about 30% higher than the European average. While the cost of living is very high, it is offset by Norway's also high income levels for residents. The taxes and higher operational costs allow for higher salaries and wages for Norwegian workers and residents. So while consumer items and services are expensive, incomes are relatively higher to afford the costs of living in this wealthy Scandinavian nation. Another aspect that influences the income of the Norwegians is taxes. Norway has a progressive income tax system with rates ranging from 23.7% to 38.4% of taxable income. The income tax is made up of a flat municipal tax rate, typically around 11.8%, and a progressive national tax rate between 1.9% and 16.2%. Tax rates increase at specific income thresholds, so higher income earners pay higher overall rates. The standard VAT rate in Norway is 25%, which is one of the highest VAT rates in the world. Some goods and services are subject to reduced VAT rates, like food at 15% and cultural activities at 10%. The corporate income tax rate in Norway is 22%, about average compared to other Scandinavian countries. Norway also levies a wealth tax on net wealth exceeding around $170,000 for individuals and $340,000 for couples. The wealth tax rate ranges between 0.7% and 1.1% on net wealth above those thresholds. Employers contribute 14.1% of employees' salaries to Social Security. Employees pay 5.1% of earnings up to around $75,000 for Social Security. Norway's high tax rates across income, consumption, wealth, and Social Security enable the country to fund its extensive welfare system, universal health care, free education, infrastructure, and other public services. The taxes are aimed at redistributing wealth to provide a high standard of living for Norwegians. Overall, Norwegians pay some of the highest tax rates in the world, especially for higher income brackets. However, the tax system supports Norway's robust social support system and benefits that improve quality of life measures. Another aspect worth mentioning is the women of the country. They are renowned for their natural beauty. Norwegian women generally have fair complexions, blonde or light brown hair, and blue or green eyes. Many Norwegian women allow their hair to be long and free-flowing. Beyond physical appearances, Norwegian women are educated and career-oriented. They value independence and equality in their relationships and marriages. Norwegian society promotes gender equality, so women have ample opportunities in higher education and the professional workforce. Norwegian women also tend to be physically fit and enjoy an active outdoor lifestyle when the weather permits. Hiking, skiing, and other outdoor pursuits are very popular in Norway's rugged landscapes. Norwegian women dress stylishly yet practically for the climate. Talking about climate, did you know that Norwegian children sleep outside? You heard that right. Here, and in some other Nordic countries, a peculiar practice is the habit of letting babies sleep outdoors, even in the snow, while they're in their strollers. This cultural tradition is based on the belief that exposing babies to fresh air and cold temperatures can help build stronger immune systems and make them more resilient against illnesses and allergies later in life. It is very common to see babies napping in their strollers outside homes, daycares, cafes, etc., regardless of the weather conditions in Norway. Babies are always dressed in thick, insulated outdoor clothing to keep them protected from the cold. This practice stems from the cultural philosophy of there's no bad weather, only bad clothing when it comes to being outdoors. Many Norwegians believe the fresh air and exposure to nature provides health benefits for infant development. The practice aims to allow babies to spend maximum time outdoors breathing fresh air. It is thought to help babies sleep better. So while it may seem quite strange to outsiders, intentionally letting babies nap outside in strollers during winter is a long-standing, accepted practice in Norwegian culture based on perceived health benefits. The babies are always properly protected from the elements. You might think this practice is evidence of a kind of backwardness in humans' thought, but that is far from the truth. You've probably heard about Norway being at the top of the highest human development index, only second to Switzerland. How did Norway achieve this? It all started in the 1960s when Norway discovered massive oil reserves in the North Sea. This transformed Norway's economy greatly. You see, before that, Norway relied mainly on fishing and agriculture. But with the oil reserves, Norway became one of the world's top oil producers. Having all this new oil wealth brought opportunities, but also challenges for Norway in managing it properly. The main company operating Norway's petroleum sector is Equinor, formerly called Statoil. It's state-owned and was created in 1972 to manage Norway's oil and gas. Now, under what's called the Norwegian model, the Norwegian government has a big stake in the energy industry. The idea is to ensure oil profits get invested responsibly and sustainably to benefit both current and future generations of Norwegians. A large portion of the oil money goes into the government pension fund of Norway. That's their sovereign wealth fund, one of the biggest in the world. It was established in 1990 to preserve and invest Norway's oil wealth for the future. This fund invests widely across stocks, bonds, properties worldwide to safeguard Norway's economy when energy markets are volatile. But Norway doesn't just save the oil money. The profits also finance many government programs for developing infrastructure, education, research, public health, social welfare, and more. This allows Norway to have such high living standards with great public services like free quality healthcare and education. Now, you may think with all this government assistance, Norwegians wouldn't commit crimes, but some still do. However, Norway enforces its laws strictly but humanely. Norwegian prisons focus on rehabilitating inmates, not punishing. Their prisons offer individual cells with amenities like TVs, fridges, desks, and private bathrooms, even windows with views to nature, no bars. Inmates access sports, education, job training to reintegrate into society after release. Thanks to this approach, Norway's recidivism rate is only around 20%, one of the lowest globally. Halden Prison is considered among the most humane, often compared to a nice hotel. In Norway, they take traffic offenses very seriously. They want to keep the roads safe for everyone, so they have strict rules and hefty fines for those who break them. But here's the interesting part. The fines aren't just a fixed amount. They take into account how much money the person who broke the rule makes. So, let's say two people committed the same traffic violation, like speeding or running a red light. One person has a high-paying job and makes a lot of money, while the other person doesn't earn as much. In Norway, the person with the higher income would have to pay a larger fine than the person with the lower income. The thinking behind this is that for some people, a small fine might not be enough of a deterrent to make them follow the rules. But if the fine is based on their income, it becomes a more significant amount, and they're less likely to take that risk again. It's kind of like how when we were kids, our parents gave us different punishments or rewards based on what would motivate us individually. Norway is trying to discourage dangerous driving behavior by making the consequences more meaningful for each person's financial situation. This is Serbia, a landlocked little country tucked away in Southeast Europe, right in the heart of the Balkan Peninsula. With only around 7 million people, Serbia's a relatively small player population-wise, but the compensation comes geographically. This place is diverse. We're talking fertile plains up north, rugged limestone ranges and basins over in the east and southeast. The country splits into 4 main regions: Vojvodina in the north, Šumadija in the central area, Pomoravlja eastern side, and Raška way down southwest. This beautiful country has an area of approximately 88,000 square kilometers. To put that into perspective, it's a tiny bit smaller than the US state of Kentucky, or a little larger than Austria. The landscape here is all over the place: rolling hills, rugged mountain ranges, you name it. The highest point is this massive peak called Jerevica, towering at 2,656 meters above sea level down in the southern region. To have a better grasp of why Serbians live the way they do, it's important to know more about life here through Serbia's incredible history and culture. This place has origins dating way back to the 7th century when Slavic tribes first settled in the Balkans. A couple centuries later, in the 9th, the Serbs set up shop with their very own Serbian principality. That whole operation leveled up in the 1200s into the full-fledged Serbian kingdom under the Nemanjić dynasty. Then in the 1300s, Serbia was just killing the game with its golden age led by Stefan Dušan and his massive Serbian empire stretching all the way from the Danube to the Gulf of Corinth. After Dušan's passing, the empire started crumbling until Serbia got taken over by the Ottomans in 1459. That Ottoman rule dragged on for like 4 centuries. Finally, in the 1800s, the Serbian Revolution broke out and kicked off the establishment of the new Principality of Serbia in 1815. A few decades later, in 1878, Serbia was recognized as an independent state at the Congress of Berlin. You know that led to getting involved in starting World War I after the assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand in Sarajevo by a Serbian nationalist in the early 1900s. After WW1, Serbia joined up with the other South Slavic states to form the Kingdom of Serbs, Croats and Slovenes, later renamed Yugoslavia. Unfortunately, that led to WWII and the Nazi invasion, where Yugoslavia and Serbia got occupied by German forces. Post-war from 1945, Serbia existed as part of Tito's Socialist Federal Republic of Yugoslavia. But we all know how that turned out. Yugoslavia broke up violently in the 1990s after a bunch of wars and conflicts. Serbia finally regained full independence in 2006 when Montenegro dipped out of the union between the two countries. These days, Serbia is a parliamentary republic just trying to get into the European Union. Its culture is heavily influenced by that ridiculously rich history, Slavic roots, and Orthodox Christian traditions. When it comes to entertainment, Serbian is not left behind. One of its most iconic traditions is its folk music known as Sevdalinka. This musical expression runs deep in the Serbian people's soul, reflecting their emotions and connection to the land. Traditional instruments like the gusle and tamburita play a crucial role in this musical tradition, often accompanied by dance. Every August is the world-famous Gucha Trumpet Festival with trumpet players and fans coming from everywhere. Then you have dope events celebrating shepherding traditions like Dragachevo Shepherd's Weekend, or parties like Smederevo Great Ball, which is basically one big wine fest, because Serbian wine is too good not to discuss. These folks have been making wine since ancient Roman days. The varied landscapes from Vojvodina's fertile plains to the hilly Šumadija and mountainous east provide that premium terroir. Serbian wines are distinct thanks to those local grape varieties: Prokupac, Smederevka, Kadaka for the reds, Riesling, Chardonnay, Tamjanika for whites. One sip of those local flavors and you're hooked. Speaking of being hooked, the Serbian food scene is next level. Heavy Ottoman and Mediterranean influences with all the grilled meats, veggies, dairy. It's a vibe. You gotta try pljeskavica, a grilled patty with pork, beef, lamb stuffed in lapinja flatbread topped with that roasted red pepper, eggplant garlic sauce called kajsija, or cevapcici, those little beef and lamb sausages with roasted red pepper, ajvar and onions. The iconic Gibanica cheese pie layered with feta, eggs, phyllo dough, breakfast or dessert doesn't matter, it slaps. But the real iconic national dish has to be chobanak, the legendary shepherd's stew. This hearty meat and veggie stew originated from literal shepherds cooking it over fires while tending flocks. The slow cook method allows those rich flavors to just marry perfectly. It's served with lapinja flatbread or that roasted red pepper garlic spread kajsija on the side. Not just delicious, but chobanak represents true Serbian hospitality. It's what locals make for guests as a warm welcome. Of course, you can't talk Serbian culture without the spiritual side. This is a predominantly Christian nation where the Serbian Orthodox Church has been deeply woven into identity and traditions since the 9th century. Beautiful Orthodox monasteries and churches packed with art, literature, cultural heritage are all over. Some are full-blown UNESCO World Heritage sites like the breathtaking 12th century Studenica Monastery with its Byzantine-inspired design and preserved frescoes. Stari Ras, the first medieval Serbian capital, with the nearby Sopoćani Monastery and its incredible frescoes marking the birthplace of medieval Serbian art and culture. Then Dečani Monastery from the 1300s, an architectural and fresco painting masterpiece that's still an important spiritual center for Serbs today. Major religious festivals and holidays like Christmas, Easter and Slava, the family's patron saint day, are straight-up vibrant affairs. Expect religious processions, feasting, cultural performances, the whole 9 yards celebrating their beliefs and traditions. But Serbian culture goes beyond just the spiritual side. You've got iconic landmarks like Belgrade Fortress overlooking the Sava and Danube rivers merging. This ancient fortress is basically the symbol of Belgrade, a testament to the city's deep history and strategic importance over the centuries. Up in northern Serbia, the Fruška Gora mountain range is home to tons of Serbian Orthodox monasteries, each one architecturally unique and culturally significant in its own way. Then every year, the world-famous Gucha Trumpet Festival goes down, celebrating Serbia's brass band musical roots. Musicians and fans come from all over the globe for this epic trumpet extravaganza. The road network is the backbone. Around 16,000 kilometers of paved highways, national and regional roads crisscrossing the country. The E75 highway running north to south is key, connecting Serbia to neighbors like Hungary, North Macedonia, and Greece. New modern highways are being built, and existing roads renovated, though rural areas still need work. Rail system is well developed at 3,600 kilometers with electrified and high-speed lines. Main rail lines link major cities like Belgrade, Novi Sad, Niš, Subotica, plus international connections. National rail company Železnice Serbia operates it all, upgrading infrastructure with new trains and signaling despite recent challenges. Air travel runs through Nikola Tesla Airport in Belgrade, the biggest international hub, plus Niš Constantine the Great and Morava Airport in Kraljevo. National airline Air Serbia flies to major European and global destinations, complemented by other international airlines. The Danube River's 588-kilometer stretch is vital for inland water transportation, linking Serbia to riverside European nations. Port of Belgrade is the major cargo hub, mostly for bulk goods like agriculture and raw materials. City public transit consists of bus, tram, trolleybus systems in Belgrade and Novi Sad, with Belgrade having an extensive network and a metro under development. Taxis and rideshares available too. Serbia is one of only 4 countries in the world with a breed of horse named after it, the Serbian trotter. This breed was developed in the late 19th century and is prized for its endurance and elegant trot. The Serbian trotter has been bred specifically for its trotting abilities, making it a valued breed for various purposes, including harness racing and agricultural work. Sports also play a significant role in Serbian life, with football, basketball, water polo, and tennis being particularly popular. Serbia has produced numerous world-class athletes, including tennis stars like Novak Djokovic and Ana Ivanovic. The country has a strong basketball tradition, with the Serbian national team winning silver medals at the 2016 Rio Olympics and the 2014 FIBA World Cup. Additionally, Serbia is renowned for its production of raspberries, ranking as one of the world's leading exporters of this fruit. Now let's explore the city of Belgrade. It's the capital city and stands as a thriving hub of artistic expression, with its theaters, operas, and concert halls attracting internationally acclaimed performers. The city's music scene pulsates with the diverse rhythms of folk, pop, and rock genres, further enriching its cultural landscape. Belgrade's unique fusion of history, culture, and urban energy renders it a must-visit destination for travelers seeking to immerse themselves in the heart of Serbian culture. As the sun sets, Belgrade transforms into a vibrant stage of entertainment and revelry, renowned for its lively and diverse nightlife that draws visitors from around the globe. Along the banks of the Danube and Sava rivers, a concentration of floating bars, nightclubs, and clubs offer a unique atmosphere, where immersive music, dance, and stunning views of the illuminated cityscape converge. Beyond these waterfront establishments, Belgrade streets and squares host a vibrant nightlife scene, with neighborhoods like Savamala and Skardalia standing out for their lively cafes, themed pubs, and concert venues that attract crowds eager for entertainment. Music is a central element of Belgrade's nightlife, with an eclectic scene spanning Serbian folk rhythms, techno, house, and rock genres. Visitors can indulge in live performances, music festivals, and even participate in traditional dance classes. The beauty and allure of Serbian women are renowned worldwide. These women possess physical features that elevate them to the realm of artistic masterpieces, characterized by their clear, luminous skin, expressive eyes ranging from blue to green hues, and dark, silky tresses. Serbian women exude a captivating elegance. Their slender, athletic statures, complemented by gentle curves and elegant postures, further enhance their allure. Beyond their physical beauty, Serbian women are celebrated for their intelligence, education, and sophistication, with many achieving success as professionals across various fields, including science, technology, arts, and politics. This remarkable combination of beauty, intellect, and charisma renders Serbian women admired and desired globally, carrying an aura of mystery and sensuality that inspires and captivates. It's no surprise that Serbian women are a step ahead of those you will find in Europe, the US, and Australia. These women are renowned for their warm hospitality and gracious manners. Their friendly and welcoming nature leaves a lasting impression on visitors to the country. When planning a visit to Serbia, it is crucial to understand the cost of living to ensure proper budgeting and gain insight into the standard of living of the local population. In 2024, the minimum wage in Serbia is approximately 62,000 Serbian dinars per month, equivalent to around 570. While this amount may seem low compared to other European countries, it reflects the overall level of prices and costs within the nation. Rental prices vary considerably based on location and property size. In Belgrade, A one-bedroom apartment in a central area can range from $300 to $500 per month, while smaller cities offer more affordable options, with rents typically ranging between $200 and $350. Regarding food expenses, Serbia offers an excellent cost-benefit ratio. A meal at a local restaurant can cost between $5 and $15, while purchasing basic items at supermarkets and local markets tends to be quite affordable. An average budget of $200 to $300 per month for food is generally considered sufficient for one person. It is important to note that costs can fluctuate based on individual lifestyle and preferences, as is the case in any country. However, overall, Serbia is considered a relatively affordable destination, especially when compared to other European nations. This combination of reasonable cost of living and the country's cultural richness makes Serbia an attractive destination for both visitors and those seeking to establish a long-term residence. Obtaining an entry visa to Serbia is a relatively straightforward process for most visitors. Citizens of many countries, including the United States and members of the European Union, can enter the country with a tourist visa valid for up to 90 days, which can be obtained directly upon arrival, facilitating entry. For those wishing to extend their stay, Serbia offers the possibility of obtaining temporary or permanent residence visas upon arrival in the country. One of the most striking characteristics of Serbia is the warm and welcoming manner in which Serbians receive foreign visitors. This hospitality is a fundamental aspect of the local culture and contributes significantly to creating a memorable travel experience. For those who appreciate nightlife, the clubs and bars of the Serbian capital provide ideal venues. In these spaces, visitors can immerse themselves in captivating music, frenetic dancing, and an atmosphere filled with revelry. From floating clubs to traditional music venues, a myriad of options cater to those seeking an unforgettable night out. In contrast to the nocturnal vibrancy, Serbia's local squares offer a more tranquil and contemplative setting. In these public spaces, it is common to witness groups of elderly individuals gathered, conversing animatedly and enjoying each other's company. This scene evokes a sense of community and tradition, reflecting the slower pace of life and the importance of social bonds within Serbian culture. Strolling through these squares provides an opportunity to observe the daily lives of Serbians, appreciate the historical architecture that surrounds them, and perhaps even engage in casual conversation with local residents. It is through these authentic interactions that visitors can truly experience the essence of Serbia. This interaction is possible since the climate here is favorable. There can be quite a bit of variation in weather conditions from one region to another. This is mainly due to differences in elevation, how close an area is to the sea, and how exposed it is to winds. But generally speaking, Serbia has what we'd call a continental climate. That means cold, relatively dry winters and warm, humid summers. In Belgrade, for example, there's a whopping difference of about 20 degrees between the average temperatures in January and July. The Vojvodina region in the north really exemplifies that continental climate pattern. July temps there average around 27 degrees, while in January it hovers right around the freezing mark at 1 degree Celsius. Up in the mountainous areas though, summer is a bit more mild with average July temps of about 18 degrees Celsius. For the most part, the air masses influencing Serbia's weather come from Eastern and Northern Europe throughout the year. Only occasionally do warmer Mediterranean air masses sneak in from the southeast or south. With the knowledge of the climate in Serbia, your trip will definitely be easier and fun-filled.